It's wonderful to feel united with conservatives on something, and the protests in Iran are just such an opportunity. So kumbaya, guys, kumbaya! Now, I think it would be worth our time to identify exactly what we are supporting here, because our cause as Westerners is aligned with, but not identical to, their cause as moderate Iranians. Their cause has three parts. Mousavi himself, they want him to be president. Democracy, they want everyone's vote counted. And self-interest, the oppressed moderates want to assert their power and expand their civil rights. The Iranians are free to mix all three of those values together and argue different ones at different times. They own all of them, and each one makes their movement larger. But we, as foreigners who support their cause, we would do well to recognize that our solidarity is primarily with the third argument, empowering the oppressed moderates, not with Mousavi and not even with democracy. I know that sounds horribly Machiavellian, but keep watching and I will convince you. First of all, the easy part. There's no reason for us to get overly excited about Mousavi, the man. He has had a very shady past already in the Iranian government, and if we see him assume the presidency, we could very well be disappointed. So Mousavi is primarily useful as long as he foments uprising, and not so much after that. Now to the harder point, why did I say that democracy is not our cause as Westerners? Ugh, it sounds bad. Well, let me give you an example. Imagine that the tables were turned and the urban bourgeoisie had managed to rig the election for Mousavi, and now an army of older religious extremists was pouring in from the countryside to storm Tehran for Ahmadinejad. Would you be tweeting for them? No, you wouldn't. And is that because we are hypocrites with loose and situational morals? Well, no, I hope not. I hope that it's because there's one thing more important than democracy. We are lucky to have democracy on our side in this fight, but it's not what makes us right. The Western constitutional governing system gets it right when it puts individual liberties first, ahead of democracy. A powerful few must force an unwilling majority to comply with their rule if civil rights are at stake. We didn't take a vote when we ended Jim Crow segregation in the US. 9 elites called the Supreme Court forced it on a public that in some areas was totally unwilling and had to have it shoved down their throats. It is the right and responsibility of every oppressed people in the world, majority or minority, to agitate, to disrupt, to revolt until their rights are recognized. It's important that we make this distinction, this priority of liberty first, democracy second, so that next time a country dominated by extremists actually does vote its way to more oppression, we don't let the Iranian democracy argument confuse us about whose side we're on. Inalienable rights. Marg bar dictator. Fishies.